Hey everyone, in this section we look at bank regulation. The goal of the Federal Reserve System is to have a safe and stable national financial system to protect individual savings and for integrity of the financial system. Bank regulation falls into a number of categories. Number 1 is reserve requirements, number 2 is capital requirements, and number 3 is restrictions on the type of investments banks can make. What are reserve requirements? The commercial banks are required to keep some amount of their reserves in their vaults, or we have cash in bank, and the majority of the reserves are with their bank account at the Federal Reserve Bank. So we are talking about the interaction between the commercial banks and the Fed, where the commercial banks are keeping a certain amount of their reserves or money in their account and the rest with the Federal Reserve Bank. Number 2, capital requirements. Here we look at the definition of net worth, which is assets minus liabilities. In my example, assets are equal to 100, liabilities are $80. So we have a number $20 which is greater than 0. The net worth of the bank should be positive. Number 3, for the sake of depositors, there are restrictions on the type of investments, and commercial banks are not allowed to invest in risky assets, as for example, not allowed to invest in the stock markets. But definitely they can purchase US Treasury securities, which are considered as safe investments. Number 2, we look at bank supervision. Several government agencies monitor the bank's balance sheets. So over here we are talking about commercial banks. They are trying to see that assets are greater than liabilities and the net worth is positive. We have the Office of Comptroller of the Currency supervising 1,500 banks and 800 savings and loan institutions. Then we have the National Credit Union Administration supervising the credit unions, and the Federal Reserve supervising the financial institutions. Alright, now we look at bank runs. So during the early 20th century, putting your money in a bank could be nerve-wracking. One of the reasons is there was a chance the net worth was negative or assets were less than the liabilities. So you can look up the movie It's a Wonderful Life, where Jimmy Stewart is playing the role of a bank manager, and the bank is in a bank run, and to allay the fear of the depositors, he is using money from his pocket to pay them off, money which he was supposed to use for his own honeymoon. And here we have depositors racing to the bank to withdraw their deposits for fear the money they put in the bank would be lost. In these days, the risk of bank runs can create instability, and the Congress has put 2 strategies in place. One is the deposit insurance, which is an insurance system that makes sure the depositors in a bank do not lose their money, even if the bank goes bankrupt. The bank is paying an insurance premium to Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, known as FDIC. And we have lender of last resort, which is also used to protect against bank runs. The central bank acts as a lender of last resort by providing short-term emergency loans in conditions of financial crisis to commercial banks in the economy. I looked at examples of commercial banks before, which are Wells Fargo, Chase, Bank of America, and we have lots of commercial banks in the nation. All right, that's it in this slide. Thank you very much.